Hi everyone, it is Holly with Authentic Productivity. Today I am here. I'm going to tell you 15 easy and fairly cheap ways that you can decorate your journal pages. Most of my posts have reflection questions in them. I'm very big on journaling. And I just feel like when you decorate your pages, it's so much more fun to see. Like, you can tell how far I am in this journal. Your pages are so much more fun, and it just makes me happy to see decorated pages in my own journal. So I wanted to share 15 ways you can decorate your pages. These are just some ideas to get you started. There are tons more things you could use to decorate. The first is pretty obvious. It's stickers. We have these, I believe I got from Amazon. They're like postage stamp kind of stickers. I have these ladies and some fairies. There are tons and tons of stickers out there that you can use to decorate. They're very cheap, they're easy, travel easy. Great option for decorating your pages cheaply. Our next option is postcards. This one, I don't even remember where I got this. My travel postcards, so when we travel places, I'm not a big picture taker. I mean, I do take pictures, but postcards typically have beautiful pictures on them. And I find they make great additions to your journal pages. They're also usually pretty cheap. So your options with the postcards, you could either glue them in, like this has, I put double-sided tape on the back so I could put it in, or you could do it as a tip-in. And if you don't know what a tip-in is, it is just in your journal when you only adhere something on one side so that you can lift it up and right behind it. Very easy to do. I use washi tape. It's very convenient. Another great option is packaging. My kids love these blind boxes. This is one that they got, and the packaging is just interesting. These characters are cute and fun. So I tend to take the packaging, cut it up. I use double-sided tape, adhered into my journal. This is from, my daughter decided to buy me one of these teddy bears, and I thought the packaging was kind of neat. So I cut it up, and it will be going in my journal. The only thing to be aware of when using packaging is, like, these are cardboard, they're a little thick. If you use a whole lot of packaging, it'll thicken up your journal, and it can make it so you'll put it on this page, and then when you flip your page and you're writing, it can make it a little hard to write sometimes if you don't use a board for that. Okay, number 4, we have, I think we've all done collages with magazine photos at some point. These were all cut from magazines, and I will adhere them into my journal. You can use words, images. All these cute images from, these are actually all from Bella Grace magazine. I love that magazine because they have beautiful imagery. They also have a lot of quotes. So the quotes that catch my attention, I cut out and add to my journal. As you can see, a lot of these images are beautiful, and these will be making their way into my journal. And again, a lot of people have magazines. If not, you can find them used cheap. Ask people to save their magazines and give them to you. You could do that one for next to nothing. Painting. So this is number 5, paint. This is another easy way. So we have acrylic paint. You can get that cheap at craft stores. Wait for a sale, it'll be super cheap. You can, with the acrylic paint, you can put it on with a paintbrush, you could put it on with a sponge, you could put a little bit on the paper and scrape it with an old gift card or credit card, and it makes some interesting patterns. Gouache is another one. I just bought this wax metallic finish. I haven't tried it yet. I've used something similar in the past in my journal, so I will be trying this and see how that goes. And of course, watercolors. You could have a watercolor set like this in the metal tin. I also love these travel sheets of watercolors. So these are your watercolors, and you use your water brush pen, dab a little color off of there, put it on your page. The one thing, these are great for traveling, by the way. The one thing to beware of when you use paint is your page will need to be fully dry before you write on it, and it'll also need to be fully dry before you close your journal, or your pages can wind up getting stuck together, and then it's going to rip when you pull it apart, or they're stuck together forever. Not always a great option. So you have to make sure it has time to dry. That's not as much of an issue with the watercolor as it is with the acrylics and the gouache, but something to be aware of. Number 6, calendar pages. I have this page a day calendar here that I have on my desk, and they have these calendars have tons and tons of themes, and right now you could probably find some cheap that they're trying to get rid of since we're already into the new year. You can take these and just glue them into your journal. I would stick with ones that mean something to you. Like if you have a comic one, maybe that comic resonated with you that day. Maybe you have the word of the day one and you want to remember the words, glue them in your journal. Add some fun to the page. And like with these, if you wanted to, you could cut the bottom off with the date, or you can leave it. However, just use it the way you want to. Number 7, artwork. Now, I cannot draw very well. It's just not my thing. I'm creative in other ways. These are from my daughter. This is from a game we were playing one night, and these were doodles she made specifically for me to put in my journal. So these will get put in my journal, and it adds some fun. Plus it's memories of your kids or anyone that gives you some artwork. You could also use your own. Number 8, cut and collage books. So this guy came from one of the cut and collage books. Isn't he adorable? And here is the book he came from, Victorian Animal Society. You can get these books on Amazon. They are tons of themes. There are a ton of these books available. I have this one and I have a vintage Halloween one currently. I have my eye on some other ones, but so you have this whole page of these different images, and when you find an image you want, you cut it out and you just glue it in. In this book, the backs of the pages also have images, but not all of them have that. It just depends on the book. But these are fun images that you can add to your journals. I think this was like $12-ish on Amazon. And that's a lot of images for $12. Number 9, washi tape. If you are any kind of crafty, you probably have a stash of washi tape. I have a ton of this stuff. It comes in different sizes. This is a particularly wide one to a thin one. You can find these in various craft stores. Some office supply stores have some as well, or at least used to. And they can add some fun to the page. You can use these when you're making your tip-ins with your postcards or whatever cardstock you want to use. You can also just decorate the page with them. Like maybe you just take this one and put it down the side of your page. However you want to do it. And I feel like it adds fun. You could do shapes. You could just have little bits here and there. Super easy to use and fairly affordable. Whoopsie. Number 10 is pictures. I have this HP Sprocket printer that I have had for a few years now. I know they have newer models. This one I like because it prints wirelessly from my phone, uses Bluetooth, and these print on sticker paper. These are 2 images that I printed off today. And you just peel the back off, stick them in your journal. I believe this is a 2-inch by 3-inch image. That's all it prints is sticker photos. It's a very one-use kind of item, but it travels well. Like I bought a case for it so I can take it with me. It fits in there with some extra photo paper. You're good to go. You could also order prints online from local stores in the mail, however, and a lot of those are 4x6. You could get your whole photo as 4x6, or there are various collage apps where you could go on and create a collage with multiple photos on that 4x6 photo, have it printed, and then either use it as a collage that way in your journal, or you could cut it up and use the smaller pieces in your journal. Again, do what works for you. Number 11, I do not have a sample of this one. Where did I put my journal? Unless it is in my journal. Store bags are another fun thing that you can put in your journals. Okay, so like World Market. And usually I only do this since most of the stores have gone to paper bags, at least around here. It's very easy to cut them up and adhere them, although I have used plastic ones as well. I typically use them for stores we either don't go to very often, like the World Market bag. That was the first time I've ever been in a World Market. So I decided to cut the bag up and put it in there. Sometimes the store may have a seasonal themed bag and you might want to add that in there, or maybe parts of it. A fun, cheap way to add things. Number 13, postage stamps. Most of us, the mail we get is probably junk mail. But like we just had Christmas, if you got any Christmas cards, the stamps may have been very interesting. Like I have had these for years, these Scooby-Doo stamps. My husband bought these for me. And I've saved them because I don't want to use them. But these are actual postage stamps. If you got a letter and it had just a stamp you thought was interesting or cool, you can cut that stamp off of the envelope, glue it in your journal. And that cost you nothing because it was something that was basically trash. Number 14, again, I don't have a sample, but because I always put them in my journal right away, ticket stubs and bracelets. Like some places now when you go, you get a bracelet and the ticket stubs. Some of the tickets are digital. On those, I would either print it or do a screenshot of it on my phone and print that screenshot. That makes it a little easier to fit in your journal when it's smaller that way. And it's fun to have that on the page when you're talking about the event. Number 15 is ink stamps. And it could be something like, I have this set of letters that I will use. I forgot number 12. I will go back and do number 12. I will use these letters. I have a mini ink pad that's in my journal bag. A mini ink pad. You could also use a full size, but the mini's nice. So you use this mini ink block, do your letters. You could also have like this rolling date stamp to date your journal entries. Here is another small set of letters. And I also have stamps, I didn't get any out, of just different images. I have like emoji faces. I have other cute ones to use as backgrounds, stuff that's caught my eye over the years. So stamps are a fun, not so cheap way. This alphabet set cost a little more, but the smaller one there, I got at Michael's in the section where you're checking out. You know, they always have stuff along the register line. It was in there, I don't know, it was a couple bucks. It was pretty cheap. This one was not cheap. It was a little more expensive. And I had totally forgotten number 12, which was food labels. I am a big tea person. I am always trying different teas. It's something I love. So I will take the tea label and cut it out. I put the tape on it and stick it in my journal. It helps me remember some of these different teas I've tried because a lot of them I'll have once and then I just I don't get them again. They're fine, but I have to like absolutely love AT to buy it again. Only have a few of those. So the labels typically wind up in my journals, and it lets me write about them. So those are the 15 things that are cheap and easy to add to your journals. And we also wanted to talk a little bit of how you can adhere, different ways you can adhere these in your journal. Glue sticks are the easiest. Like I keep one in my journal bag. I have one by my desk. I have several glue sticks all over my house. This is the brand I prefer, but there's cheap options like Walmart. You can get the Elmer's or the no-name brand. Back to school time, you can get like, I don't know, what are they, like 50 cents for a glue stick? They're pretty cheap. I even have some of them from my kids. Double-sided tape. This is what I use the most. I get these rolls of double-sided tape. They come in various widths. I get these on Amazon, and then I just cut them to the size I need. You can see I've already cut it and put it on here. Then when I'm ready to put this in my journal, I just peel the paper part off and stick this in my journal. It's very easy, simple, and it's cheap. You can get several rolls of that for a couple bucks. The other method I don't use quite as much because I feel like it's pricey for what you get is tape runners. My Tombow tape runner is missing. I think one of my kids ran off with it. But here is a no-name one I got from Temu, I think. And these are great for if you're out somewhere. This one's a dot one. You just roll this onto the back of whatever you want to glue in. And it puts down, this one's dots, puts down the dots. Very easy. Then you could also use Mod Podge or acrylic medium. I got this acrylic medium. This is a quart of it. It is a ton. This will probably last me forever. This stuff, it's like a thicker Mod Podge. This paintbrush I use only for this. You dip it in there, paint it on the back of whatever you're adhering, put it in your journal. I'll usually do a layer on top too, just to make sure it's sealed in well. Again, if you use this method, it has to dry completely before you can shut your journal. So I don't use that very much in my journal. It is nice when you want to make sure it's in there and sealed though. Some things will not like sticking in your journal. When that happens, you can use a stapler. I don't like to use a stapler because then the staple goes through the page and it's on the back side. You may not want it there. Not always the best option. So that's like a last choice for me. And another one is this glue pen. And it's literally a pen with glue. You just scribble your glue on the back of whatever and glue it in. This works great for small things. And I keep one in my journal bag because again, no mess glue when you're out somewhere. So that is my quick introduction to some simple journal decorations. I have a list of these on my blog. I will have a link to that down below if you wanted a list. I will also have the list down below. If you haven't tried decorating your journal pages, give it a try. Just try something simple, something from your day, packaging, envelope, whatever, something that caught your eye during the day. Try gluing it in your journal. It's fun. It's a way to add a little bit of personality to your pages. And that is it. Later this week, I will be back with some more planning related videos. I just wanted to do something related to journaling today because I absolutely love journaling. Thanks for watching.